Archbishop Stephen Kazimba has called for the Church of Uganda to focus on the Bible's message of the conversion of our head, the conversion of our heart, and the conversion of our hands.
Ministry will rotate around a call to the ministry of conversion of the head, conversion of the heart, and conversion of the hand. Jeremiah 17:19.
More than ever, God is calling the Church of Uganda to embrace a mindset change. The truth of the gospel does not change. The truth of the Bible does not change. But circumstances do change, and technologies do change. Realities that have become all too clear during this global pandemic. The conversion of our head, a mindset change, is possible. But don't just take our word for it. Listen to some of these testimonies from our Christians.
At CMS Africa, our core business is renewing mindsets and transforming communities and eventually nations. At CMS Africa, we thought that at times mindset renewal was about the people who we reach out to and even do the trainings. But we have realized that mindset renewal is needed by the staff team more than ever before.
Before COVID, or that's way before, early in the year, and before that, as a small new parish church, we were able to do the usual giving, and we were able to use the usual channels. Of course, people were present in the church, and they were able to give. And when COVID came, we had to rethink completely our engagement, our interaction with the parishioners. We had things like social distancing. We already had an ICT committee, luckily, and this has professionals that are in that committee. We use ICT in our daily lives. We use mobile money and digital financial services in our daily lives. We thought to ourselves, how do we bring that knowledge into our church setting now for ministry to continue? We were able to work with the telcos, MTN and Airtel, who were very happy to quickly put together menus for us for most of our parishioners to send their tithe, their giving, their offering, even the construction funding to come through mobile money. And our parishioners took that very quickly because they use this daily. I mean, they're using this in their daily lives. We also quickly had a WhatsApp groups populated to keep all our parishioners in touch, because how do you stay in touch with the parishioners? How do you communicate with them? How do you update them? So our WhatsApp groups came in place. We had WhatsApp groups for women, for men, for the youth, and general parishioners all together, and that gave us a great channel. We also purchased equipment for live streaming, which means that our services now, our meetings now, are able to be streamed on Zoom and as well as on Facebook Live, and people can replay them anytime. And this has worked greatly because now we have parishioners who are in the diaspora joining us live. We have new parishioners completely, in a sense, who did not have a church but have found us online and now are partaking of the ministry. But when that content came through, people were happy to keep giving now using our electronic channels because there was ministry. People were receiving ministry through these online channels. And what we have seen is that even through the pandemic, even though we're not able to keep the same level of giving that we had previously when we had physical interaction, we did have a substantial amount of money come through our electronic channels and the giving that kept this church going in terms of paying staff, in terms of the running costs, in terms of actually starting the construction and building. As we speak right now, we are actually coming out of the basement of our construction of the chapel, And all that is actually happening online. It's online. We have updates going out on WhatsApp groups. We have videos recorded and sent, but we also have the money coming in using the electronic channels.
We were hit with a pandemic, coronavirus, so schools had to close around March 18th there. The caregivers later organized themselves, the communities, the fathers' family members, some of them who know how to read and to write. They organized how they would be helping their children. Those who don't know how to read and write, they organized how they would get a neighbor, a primary school teacher or a secondary school teacher in their communities to engage with their children. They have been able to meet in one place and discuss. These students who are from these not good schools are able to mix with the students who come from these high standardized schools, and they're able to mix and learn together.
For some, the mindset change was realizing they had resources they had never seen before. For others, the mindset change came through some outside exposure, either through a training they participated in or a YouTube video they watched. For others, it was through the leadership of their pastor or team leader.
In this pandemic, the situation where people really needed food, people needed things out to help themselves. And where I was as a parish priest, I got to know when I had left that they gathered together and asked themselves, what can we do to help our friends who really needed help? And so they gathered their food locally, they collected their food from their gardens, and they collected a little few of the money that they had. When I was a parish priest to them, I had to give what I really had to them when I had to convince my friends or our friends from the urban town to give to those who are in a rural setting. And whenever they would get something, we also had to remind them that once you receive, you also have to give.
I possess a diploma in business, a degree in accounting, a postgraduate in financial management. Even after this professional background, I had always had debts, and we always, as a family, acquired loans for our family development and to keep us going. But I am here to testify of a training called Financial Freedom that has changed my perceptions and has had a lot of impact on my whole saving and investment and expenditure patterns. I have always never had a savings that I have in this short time. Why? Because I have learned to only spend on things that I really feel I should spend on. I have never saved like I have in the last 3 months. I have been able to fix money on my savings account, which I have never done before. Why? Because I have cut on my expenses. But also, I have learned to use my resources to build the kingdom of God. And life is not all about money. Life is about God in our lives and how we use the resources that He has given us to build His kingdom.
Until COVID-19, all our business used to happen by face-to-face meetings. We used to travel around several countries in Africa to do mindset renewal trainings. We used to fly in all our board members to Nairobi for meetings, and we used to meet in the office as a staff team. All those travels had to come to a stop. All of us had to work from home. And what we had to do was to do all our meetings online. How do we share our documents? We share them on Google Docs, and we share the link with every staff member so that they are able to review documents, we are able to edit them, and even finalize them as a team. I remember some of our staff team members saying they are not comfortable doing things online. With mindset renewal, that is now a thing of the past. A stable internet connection was the first thing for every staff member. Secondly, have sufficient data per month so that we are able to log on and be on the internet. What has been our benefits? we have been able to do tremendous work. As a team, we have improved on our teamwork. We have been able to accomplish our work more effectively and more efficiently. We've been able to reach more people out there than we could reach when we did face-to-face meetings. We've been able to increase our outputs. We've been able to reduce our costs significantly. We've done business at a cheaper cost. And I can tell you, we've had our prayer meetings online. We've had prayer and fasting meetings online. We've had board meetings online.
Since I had come from school, I had nothing to do, and I just sat at home for a while. By then, my minds were focused on church, but I knew I couldn't sit in church all the time. I had a friend also, she's Gloria. She helped me with her phone. Mom just kept on loading data for me because I had heard YouTube could help some people. So I didn't know even what I was going to look for on the YouTube. But my focus was on the shoes mostly. Mom helped me with 20k, the Uganda shillings. So I bought a little materials. I tried to make the first product. So I sold those 3 pairs at 10,000 each. So I kept on advertising around the village. I made some other 2 ladies to learn. So on making them learn, teaching them, each one was giving 30,000 each. This is also a doormat. Also developed the mind of like using old sacks. I've also been making the sweaters. I don't know how I'll term it, but it is also nice when it is done.
Before the Father's Family Program was initiated in Nebi Diocese, particularly in Goli, so the issues that the families were going through include, of course, domestic violence is one of them, issues where children are not able to attend school because of probably school fees and other reasons, and to mention but a few. But families were going through issues and issues. A number of trainings that focus direct onto family issues. One of them was family communication and conflict resolution. So I think those are the reasons as to why in the whole period of lockdown, I can say from March up to about July there, when the lockdown was still hard on us, that is how they tried to manage the whole thing. One testimony that a gentleman shared with us, for him, his wife was nothing. The only thing she would do is to cook. The only thing he wants is to get food when he comes back from work or anything. But at this point, he has realized that there is some sense in whatever this woman says. And it's not only him. There are other men who have actively engaged their wives in their household affairs, just because at this point they have realized that the women are also important in everything that concerns the family.
I saw what we need as a diocese. I always use YouTube live videos to enable me learn much of the things. In October 2020, I created a Facebook page. It was amazing to see that people had come to view and were live watching our ordination service.
Before, I used to go to the bar with my village mates. When I finally came home, I didn't talk to anyone.
When he had been drinking, I would talk badly to him. I would complain and accuse him of many things. We learn how to pray together as a family before we sleep.
Now when I reach home, we talk, share, laugh, and then we sleep peacefully.
For each of these Christians, their mindset change brought transformation and set them on a path toward the abundant life that Jesus promised when he said, "I have come that they may have life and have it abundantly."
So there was a mindset shift.
There was a mindset change.
So mindset renewal works. Keep it up.